About a year ago, after having finished the 90s Marvel retrospective, you know what I'm talking about, unless you're new to the channel. If you're a Marvel fan, check those videos out. Anyway, I was informed by a commenter that a Captain America cartoon was in the process of getting made, and there's no better time than right now to take a look at this and give my thoughts on it. And for those of you that want to check it out, there's a link in the description box. From what I gathered, it's a lot like the other 90s Marvel animated shows where it puts you right in the middle of it because they briefly cover the origin in the intro. It's 1942, Captain America is fighting the Red Skull and Nazis. Accompanying him to fight them is Bucky Barnes, the Howling Commandos, and of course, a fitting inspirational theme. While it's not the best and it could use some tweaking, I do think that the intro got the basics down of what a Captain America cartoon should represent. He is a hero. It's all around serviceable, and look at that glorious 90s animation and shading. Oh yeah. Now with that, you're probably asking why wasn't there at the very least a pilot episode produced instead of just a short animation with music running over it? Well, Marvel Comics had 90s Marvel troubles, which was next to no money. It was the mid-90s at this point. They most likely wouldn't have allowed this show to run because it was depicting a war and fighting Nazis. People died. I'm pretty sure they saw what I'm thinking. There's going to be a lot of pissed off parents. They think little Timmy's gonna watch The Tick, but in reality he's watching Captain America trying to sock Adolf in the jaw. I can kinda understand why it didn't air. Regardless of what I said, John Semper Jr. did release a statement that gives us a little bit more information on the whole thing. And I quote, "Here's a promo for Captain America's animated series, produced by Saban. That would have premiered around about the time that Spider-Man the Animated Series was on air." Semper Jr. wrote, "Unfortunately, due to Marvel's shaky financial and political situation, it was never made. But you have watched it? And no, I was not involved with making this." Okay, so from this statement alone, and from what I've seen, I have several questions. So they were able to produce a 5-season run for Spider-Man, but not even a pilot episode for Captain America, along with the other shows that came along after the fact. Hulk, Silver Surfer, etc. Financial situation, I understand. They were down in the gutter around that time and were trying to do multiple adaptations outside the world of comics. But political situation? What were they ashamed of Captain America? Or was it that it was seen as a World War II show? Even if it was that, I still would have watched it for the 1 or 2 season run it would have made. I'm just wondering if the show would have been solely set during World War II, or would he have traveled to the future eventually after 1 season? Would he be the only superhero in this universe, or would we get to see him interact with the Avengers? Remember, there was a loose Marvel continuity here during this time. So many questions, and so few answers. But like I said, I would have watched the show if it did make it to the air. Would you have done the same? I'm Lena Mars of the MCA Productions crew, and as always, true believers and newcomers alike.
Excelsior!